What's up, everybody? It's Grim, and today I'm coming to you with another hot take because WWE has launched some huge breaking news about Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania is coming up in a very, very, very short time, and guess what? They announced today, officially, the news we all wondered, the news that was all but confirmed, that yes, the women will main event WrestleMania. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey for the WWE Raw Women's Championship will close the show. Or so we think. That's not exactly what they said. They said it will main event WrestleMania. But aren't they considering like 4 of those matches on WrestleMania? The main events? No. That's what they're saying. And a lot of people coming at me, Grim, that's not exactly what they said. No, that is what they are trying to portray to you guys. They're trying to say, yes, guys, yes, out there, this women's match will be the last match on the show. The main event. Not just the main event, but the main event. Now, I'm going to give you my hot take on this. Do I think this is good? Do I think this is bad? Because some people think, well, they don't deserve it. Some people think that, women shouldn't close the show. You're wrong. Charlotte, Ronda Rousey, and Becky Lynch have had the best feud going into WrestleMania of any other match going. They have the best storyline, and they're going to have the biggest payoff. And what is that payoff going to be? Well, the payoff should be, as Tubby Emu would say, Becky Lynch winning the Raw Women's Championship, dethroning Ronda Rousey, but the swerve could happen. Could we see a swerve? What I think that there is going to be a swerve, and Charlotte could take that title. Could you imagine the uproar if they actually had the women main event WrestleMania for the first time, just to put Charlotte Flair in that spot? Grim, what are you thinking, man? Well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they're not going to give us the predictable ending that we all want, the predictable ending that we all need. They're giving us what we want with the women being that main event, because I think the majority of the wrestling fans out there, that's what you guys want to see. The progress, the first time ever, the pageantry, the broken ceiling, women ascending to the main event of WrestleMania after 35 years for the first time ever. I think it's awesome. I really do. And, to me, honestly, and I've said this before, match placement doesn't mean a lot to me. It's not a huge deal, honestly. I do independent wrestling shows. I did 2 this weekend. I was the main event of SWF. And I can tell you, by the main event, the crowd was tired. It was hard to get them into it. And then you're talking about a marathon show like WrestleMania, 17 hours long. It's 2 shifts of work. It's going to be like 7 or 8 hours. That's still 1 whole shift of work. At the end of your shift, you're tired. At the end of watching WrestleMania for 7 hours in your seat in MetLife Stadium, we're going to be tired. How the hell are we going to pop for Becky Lynch? Quite frankly, if it was me, I'd say, look, I don't want to close the show. Put me somewhere in the middle where the crowd's still hype, where the crowd's still hot. But, in wrestling lore, to the fans, to the wrestlers, ending the show, being that main event, means everything. That's one of the big reasons CM Punk left WWE, if you remember correctly. He never got to main event WrestleMania. Even though he was the champion at a WrestleMania. Even though he fought The Undertaker at WrestleMania. It was never the last match. And CM Punk was triggered about it. And if that's what really means something to people, I'm glad that WWE is doing it. And maybe in the future, we could have tag teams. A tag team championship match main event. Could you imagine? I mean, if the women have broken that glass ceiling and the women have ascended to the main event of WrestleMania, how long until the Usos and the New Day get their due? I mean, they've done that match to death, but I'm just saying, maybe there are 2 teams. Maybe there is a rivalry worthy at some point of the tag team championship match ascending to the main event of WrestleMania. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your hot takes on this because it's a hot topic right now over on Twitter. We got to kill that comment section and we got to discuss this. I think it's awesome. I think it's progress. I think it's amazing. Also breaking today, the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart are sliding their way into the Hall of Fame in this year's class. This year's class is stacked. It's stacked like the chest of Nikki Bella. Can you believe this right now? That we are going to have Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart going into the Hall of Fame in the same class as part of DX and part of the Hart Foundation. This is so cool. This really means a lot to old school wrestling fans such as myself. Now, if you are you've only been watching 2-3 years, whatever, you're like, who cares about these old guys? This is classic. This is Hall of Fame. Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart have built tag team wrestling into what it is today. They were the pioneers. They were the forerunners. And they totally nailed tag team wrestling ×2. And not only that, but from the loins of the Anvil delivered us Natalya Neidhart. That's right. That is her dad, Natalya Neidhart of the women's division. Her father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. He passed away, I think it was only within this past year, God rest his soul, ascending to his proper place in the Hall of Fame. And I've been saying ascending a lot, haven't I? Grim learns new word, ascending. But guys, for real, this is really one of the coolest things. And again, every time there's an announcement, every time someone goes into the Hall of Fame, we get, well, what about these guys? Hey, well, what about that guy? Hey, well, what about this team? Hey, well, what about that team? Hey, what about The Rock? How come he's not in? How come Tori Wilson's going into the Hall of Fame? What about China? Well, China's in with the DX thing. Well, what about Tori didn't do nothing? Well, what about the Hart Foundation didn't do much? The New Age Outlaws did more. Well, they're going in DX. You guys got to remember, the Hall of Fame is pretty much open to whoever Vince wants to put in. Whatever can be marketable to sell the event, to make WrestleMania more spectacular. And you need to save some names for other years. You can't just put everybody in this year. Imagine this year's class. It's Goldberg, Sting, Bret the Hitman Hart, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan. And they would have nobody for next year. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put in the stars as they become available. And you got to respect that. It's kind of like kindergarten class. Remember when you guys were in kindergarten class and at one point everybody in the class got to be the line leader and lead you down to lunch? Oh, I'm going to eat my lunch. It's going to be so delicious. I'm leading the line today. And tomorrow little Johnny's the line leader. And the next day little Jimmy's the line leader. It's kind of like the Hall of Fame. If you've accomplished an awesome career in WWE, you won some titles, if you were there for a while, at some point, some way, somehow, as long as you're on good terms with Vince, with Triple H, with Steph, you're gonna get in. Is The Rock gonna be in the Hall of Fame? Of course he is. But he's very, 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 very busy with movies and such right now. He's not really doing the WWE thing. He's one of the biggest movie stars in the world right now, if you can believe it. So, what sense would it make to pull him away from a movie and put him in the Hall of Fame right now? Now, you could wait a few years on The Rock, you know what I'm saying? And then, finally, when The Rock does come to the Hall of Fame, it's a really big deal. And, you know, that will be, of course, The Rock is going to The Rock. I mean, he could be the president for crying out loud. We've heard even those rumors of he might run for president in the future. Could you imagine? Former WWE star becomes president, then goes into the Hall of Fame. That's something Vince McMahon, Triple H, Vince might be dead by then. That's something that would be huge news for the WWE in the future. The Rock is going to get there. All your favorites are going to get there. We all know why. And people are like, no, who's represented? Who's represented? Who's the character, not the man? The character, not the man. The problem is, the character and the man had the same name. Now, if it was somebody like Triple H, where his real name is Jean-Paul Levesque, but, you know, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the character. Razor Ramon, the character. Did you notice when Scott Hall went into the Hall of Fame, for example, they put Razor Ramon into the Hall of Fame, not Scott Hall, because Scott Hall has that troubled past. Scott Hall has that troubled history. They didn't want people being like, well, Scott Hall, he killed somebody. He was exonerated. If you don't know the story, he was a bouncer at a club and he saved a girl from being raped by killing a guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was his job and a self-defense, but people still say, well, he killed someone. And he also had, you know, the alcohol problems and that kind of thing. But in the end, he still had a Hall of Fame career. Chico, as Razor Ramon. Chico. And that's what they put him in. But then, he's going to go in, you know, obviously, NWO as well, and DX, and whatever else. You know, these guys are all going to make it at some point. And we were all worried China would never make it. Now she's going in as part of DX. So it doesn't have to be controversial, just China. This is kind of like the Trojan horse. How to get China into the Hall of Fame without her actually being just China, Hall of Fame. Always thinking So guys, thank you so much for watching my hot take video. If you did not see GTS Wrestling from yesterday, please check that out. A lot of major developments going on, and we're going to have some exclusive Patreon matches coming up. It's going to be wild. And GTS Wrestling, we're building towards Wrestlemania. There's going to be episodes coming like crazy. Keep those subscriber notifications tapped. That little bell on your YouTube app, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it. And when you get that notifier, be one of the first to click, because that's the comments I read. Those are the comments I see, and those are the times that I respond. And you'd be like, oh my God, Dream left me a comment. Oh my God, Dream replied to me. That's when it's going to be, when that notifier hits. Let's do this. And if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Eat it. Yeah.